Hey YouTube, Force Arena players, welcome to the first game update video. How exciting is this? The game's been out a week and we are expecting to have a patch drop for the game on January the 20th, which is just tomorrow, which is awesome. Most of the changes inbound will be affecting the lower tier game, so if you're a high tier player you might not see much of a difference in terms of the card changes, but you'll see some difference with the leaders. Let's start with the easiest part. The easiest part is going to be the matchmaking. The matchmaking system has been overhauled, so apparently right now, as we've all seen in the videos we've all got, it can take a while to find a match, despite the fact there's lots of players in the game. So they're making changes to how the matchmaking system works, and they're going to make it more accurate based on your rating score. So hopefully games should be quicker to find, which is good for everyone. The starter decks for the Rebel Alliance and the Empire, they have had changes, and these will really affect the lower tier part of the game more than the top tier. They felt that the Rebel Alliance was leading the way, which we all knew was possible, and they're making changes to the current system and how the starter decks work, and bring a bit more balance to the lower tier. So the changes are going to be mostly around the Empire here, and also the early starting units for the Rebels. They felt that the Rocket Stormtrooper is a little bit too weak for new users, despite the fact he's one of our best players, I think, in the game to take out turrets from distance. As the videos I've done have shown, that if he's left alone, he will bring down a turret on his own. However, he's vulnerable to attack. So what's happening is now, rather than you having a Rocket Stormtrooper, they're bringing in the Imperial Probe Droid, and he has it has a small area effect damage, AoE effect, which will help defeat waves of enemies. So if, for example, an enemy is pushing up your side with a load of troopers, the probe droid is shot, it has a self-destruct and it will wipe out most of the enemies around it, which should help lower players cope with swarms of rebel players, because especially Princess Leia, for example, she can spawn troopers, Cassian can spawn troopers, so you can get overrun with troopers, and this will help you deal with those troopers. For the Rebels, they're making a change to the Wookiee Warrior. They're taking it out of the first tier and they're replacing it with the Talaz Marauders, which are already in the game, and this is a lower cost, but they do have reduced hit points. So importantly, this change will only affect players who start after the patch. So if you've already started the game, this change will not have an impact on you, because obviously you're not in tier 1 any longer, so you won't benefit from this change. So if you feel that you haven't played the game well, or you want to restart, this could be a good idea to do that. Right, let's look at some balance changes now. This is where the meat really is on the bone. So both leaders have been changed, and also some cards have been changed. So let's look at the Empire, the light vehicle, the MTV-7, the little tank on wheels. This was a staple of the Empire, and I felt that the car was designed to have fast movement speed and high attack power than the Rebels version, the MLC light tank. They found that, however, the Empire deck lacks a unit with high hit points, because it can get quickly destroyed. So what they're doing is they're raising the hit points of this by 5%, and hopefully that should not impact higher tiers significantly, but have more balance to early tiers. So the Empire's been strengthened there at 5%. The TIE Fighter, right now they felt that it's had a good high attack power compared to the X-Wing, but it also had a high energy requirement, which meant it's less useful. People have already used it. So making changes to the TIE Fighter, allowing it to bring the values in line with the X-Wing. So what's happening is the TIE Fighter, the energy requirement has been decreased from 4 to 3, and the attack power against leaders is being decreased from 260 to 195, so it won't do much damage to leaders anymore. And also the attack power against buildings like turrets will be decreased from 104 to 78. That's quite a big drop, but I'd imagine the damage it does to troopers will still remain the same, because really that is the idea of it, to carpet bomb. The final change to the Rebels for units is going to be the Gregorian Rebel, the big white thing. It was originally designed to deal high damage to one single target, and originally he was supposed to take time between finding the next target, a bit like how the Imperial Heavy Gunner works. So there's a pause before he locks onto another target, like a reload, for example. However, that wasn't applied here, and he's supposed to be very weak against many units, so like a group of stormtroopers, for example, or really should do some lot of damage to him, but that wasn't applied. And they said that his high hit points and missing features were not intended, so they fixed it. So basically he's having his hit points decreased from 642 to 482, so it's almost 200 points off His attack range has been decreased as well from 8.5 to 7.5 as a whole point off, and he now takes 1 second to change targets once he's killed one, if he's still alive by then, of course. So the first real change to leaders is on Orson Krennic. They felt his special ability is supposed to shine in incredibly difficult circumstances, but in order for it to work, you have to be losing, and it makes it harder in comparison with other special abilities. Therefore, they've raised the stats to allow him to be played more effectively, and considering he is really the Empire's first range leader too. So his attack range has been increased from 6.5 to 7, his attack speed is decreased to 0.7, and his skill cooldown time is also decreased from 25 seconds currently to 22, which should seem a bit more competitive on the battlefield, especially against things like Han Solo and other ranged as well, hopefully. We'll see. Next change is to Emperor Palpatine. They've given him a slight boost, and the changes should make him a more formidable foe. Young Skywalker. That was a really bad impression, but I had to try. So his special ability now lasts longer, but it's up from 15 to 18 seconds. His special ability boost attack power has also been unlimited power from 14% to 15. 1% increase, so not quite unlimited. And also his skill cooldown time has been decreased from 36 to 32 seconds, which should mean that his lightning strikes should be seen more across the galaxy. Next up is Jyn Erso. She's had a slight change. She's capable of both melee attacks and ranged, but she does require a lot of skill. So to help perform better, they've increased her skill power. It's gone from 400 to 475, which is a whopping increase on her skill power, which is like a sniper shot. So that should hopefully boost her up against other leaders when it comes to attacking stuff. Sabine, let me know in the comments below. She has incredible movement speed with great skill kit, and they've been incredibly impressed the impact that she's had in the game. However, they felt she's a little bit too strong. When she's paired with her droid, the GNK droid, it really will have an impact on the Empire. So the Empire didn't like that, so they made a small change in her ability. So her special ability stats has been decreased 25% to 20%, but they are going to monitor that to see how that impacts the actual game. Finally, onto the change that probably the entire galaxy has been calling for. Poor old Cassian, he's up for a nerf. He's been reined in by the might of the Empire. Now obviously he had a very long range attack, and his strong leadership skills, that's the reason why he was a captain and ended up being a very good leader. However, they felt that he was too strong, and it fulfilled their wildest dreams, making him more powerful than you could possibly imagine, which is not quite right. So they felt that change was in order. He'll still be a good sniper over distance, but they are bringing his stats down more in line with everybody else. So his attack range, because he did have the greatest attack range in the game, has been decreased from 13 to 11, so it's still pretty formidable. And after he does perform an attack, there will be an animation delay, which has been decreased by around 30%. This will allow you to move slightly quicker, so his animation's been adjusted probably, so you move faster after you've shot or attacked somebody. His attack power against any leaders has been decreased from 145 to 131, and his attack power against buildings like turrets has been reduced from 78 to 66, which is a big drop. But obviously, because he's got such good range, he could just take down turrets if he's left to his own devices. And to reflect all these changes in the game, all the stats that come on your advantages and disadvantages on the card sheets have been updated to reflect these changes. As I said, reminder, the balance will be the patch balance will be applied tomorrow. There's no time yet, so it could be any time, so keep checking the store for that icon. There's a game update, you may download it. Transmitting as it would say, and modifications will be changed once it's been applied to the servers. The balance patches will only be applied straight away, so there'll probably be, I imagine, a period of time before we see an actual change to some of the stats. But all the details will be applied tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for your support. It's been awesome. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If there's content you'd like to see, let me know and I'll do my best. I'm also going to start streaming again some more matches as well. That's it. May the force be with you.